Chosen one, stop scrolling for a moment and listen carefully to what I am about to reveal. This is not simply another motivational speech. This is not about positive thinking or temporary encouragement. What I am sharing with you is a prophetic declaration that was released from the highest courts of heaven at exactly 2:22 this morning, and it directly concerns what is about to unfold in your life. The fact that this message has reached you at this exact moment is not random. It is not coincidence. It is intentional. You have been searching for a breakthrough for a long time. Meanwhile, heaven has been preparing an opening, and tonight those two realities are about to meet in a way that will completely redirect the path of your life. Here is what I am declaring over you with full spiritual confidence. 7 massive gates that have been closed against you are about to swing open. 7 areas of access that were once denied are about to be granted. 7 dimensions of blessing that were previously blocked are about to be released into your life. For too long you have been standing outside looking in. You have knocked on doors that refused to open. You have sought entry into places that remained sealed shut. But that season of being locked out has officially come to an end. A new season has begun, a season of divine access. Let me explain what happened in the early hours before sunrise that changed everything I understood about your situation. At exactly 2:22 a.m., I was suddenly awakened from a deep sleep. My eyes opened instantly, and before I could even understand what was happening, I was drawn into a vision so vivid and so detailed that I immediately knew it came from God. In this vision, I found myself standing before a massive ancient city. The walls surrounding this city were enormous, towering higher than anything I had ever seen. They stretched upward until they disappeared into the clouds above. But what truly captured my attention were the 7 enormous gates built into those towering walls. Each one of those gates was different from the others. They were not identical in design or structure. Every gate had been built from a different material, each carrying its own unique appearance and weight. Above every entrance, carved deeply into the ancient stone, was a name. 7 gates, 7 names, 7 points of access, yet every single one of them was completely sealed. Thick iron chains wrapped around them, massive locks hung from the bars. Guard towers stood nearby as if they had been protecting these entrances for a very long time. The feeling was unmistakable. These gates had not been opened in years, perhaps decades, perhaps even during your entire lifetime. As I stood there trying to understand what I was witnessing, I suddenly heard a voice behind me say, "Turn around." When I turned, I saw you standing there. You were facing the gates with a look that I will never forget. Your expression carried both longing and quiet resignation at the same time. It was the look of someone who deeply desired to enter, but had been disappointed so many times that hope had almost faded. You wanted to pass through those gates. You wanted access to what existed inside that city, but you had tried before and failed so many times that you had slowly begun to believe those gates would never open for you. And then everything changed. The entire atmosphere shifted suddenly. The air became heavy with authority. I heard the sound of powerful footsteps, and when I looked up toward the sky, I saw something extraordinary. 7 angels were descending from heaven. Each one carried a golden key in their hand. Each angel moved toward one specific gate, as if they had been assigned to it, and then, in that moment, the voice of God thundered across the entire scene with words that shook me deeply. The waiting period is finished. The season of denial is over. I am granting my son, my daughter, access to everything I have been holding back until they were prepared. Then the voice spoke again with undeniable authority. They are ready now. Open the gates, all 7. Tonight, what happened next was astonishing. One by one, each angel walked toward the gate they had been assigned to. There was no hesitation in their movement. Each one stepped forward with purpose, holding the golden key that had been entrusted to them. The first angel reached the gate and lifted the key toward the ancient lock. The metal looked old and heavy, like it had not moved for generations. But the moment the key entered the lock, something powerful happened. With a deep sound that echoed across the city walls, the lock released. Then the chains loosened. The gate began to move. At first it opened slowly, the massive hinges groaning as if they were waking from a long sleep, but then the movement became stronger and faster. The gate swung wider and wider until it stood completely open. Then the second angel stepped forward. Again the golden key entered the lock. Again the chains broke free. Again the gate opened. The third angel moved, then the fourth, then the fifth, then the sixth, and finally the seventh angel approached the last gate. With every gate that opened, the sound grew louder, like thunder rolling across the sky. By the time the final key turned in the final lock, all 7 gates stood wide open before you. Nothing was blocking them anymore. Nothing was sealed anymore. The city that once seemed unreachable was now completely accessible. And then I heard the voice of God speak once more, clear and powerful, across the entire vision. Tell them the gates are opening. Tell them access has been granted. Tell them everything they were locked out of is now available. Tell them to enter. The moment those words were spoken, the vision began to fade, but the message remained crystal clear. What I witnessed in the Spirit was not symbolic imagination. It was a divine revelation about what is now beginning to manifest in your life. But you must stay with me for a moment longer, because heaven did not simply show the gates opening. Heaven revealed what each gate represents. The first gate that opened in the vision is the gate of divine provision. This gate controls access to financial blessing, material resources, and supernatural supply. For a long time, this gate has seemed closed in your life. You have worked hard, yet the level of provision you truly needed never seemed to appear. You remained faithful with what you had, but increase always felt just out of reach. You watched others step into abundance while you remained on the outside, living with just enough, or sometimes not quite enough. It often felt like something invisible was blocking the flow. There was a reason for that. The enemy deliberately stationed resistance at this gate. He understood something important about you. He knew that if you ever gained access to divine provision, your ability to fulfill your assignment would expand dramatically. If financial pressure stopped dominating your thoughts, you would be free to focus on purpose instead of survival. If resources began to flow, you would be able to build, create, and impact others in ways that would threaten his plans. So he worked hard to keep this gate closed. Opportunities that could have brought increase were blocked. Unexpected expenses appeared at the worst moments. Every time you managed to gather something extra, something seemed to consume it. Slowly, the enemy tried to convince you that financial struggle was simply your permanent portion, that breakthrough was meant for others, but not for you. But tonight, that gate is opening. In the vision, I saw the angel place the golden key into the ancient lock. I watched the chains release and the gate swing wide. And I heard a declaration spoken over your finances. The blockage is removed. The limitations are faded. They have been faithful with little. And now I am granting them access to much. Resources will begin to flow. Opportunities will begin to appear. Provision will arrive from places you never expected. The gate of divine provision is open. The second gate that opened in the vision is the gate of restoration. This gate governs healed relationships, restored connections, and bonds that once seemed permanently broken. For many years, this gate appeared locked in your life. You experienced relationships that fractured in ways you could not repair. There were family members who drifted away and never returned, friendships that ended in pain, and partnerships that dissolved before they could be restored. You stood outside this gate, carrying the weight of what was lost. Over time, you began to believe that some relationships were simply too damaged to ever be repaired. But the enemy worked hard to keep this gate sealed for a reason. He knew the power that restored relationships would release in your life. Isolation weakens people, but community strengthens them. Broken connections shrink influence, but healed relationships multiply impact. So division was planted where unity once existed. Misunderstandings grew where conversations should have brought clarity. Offense was stirred up where forgiveness could have brought healing. Bitterness was whispered into wounded places until reconciliation seemed impossible. Little by little, the enemy tried to convince you that certain doors would never reopen. But tonight, the gate of restoration is opening. In the vision, I saw the angel assigned to this gate step forward with the golden key. The lock released. The chains fell away. The gate began to move, slowly at first, and then fully open. And I heard the declaration over your relationships. What the enemy broke, I am repairing. What was separated, I am reconnecting. What was lost, I am restoring. People who walked away may begin to return. Conversations you thought would never happen may suddenly begin. Connections that seemed permanently cut may be re-established. Within the coming days, you may receive communication from someone you believed you would never hear from again. An unexpected message. An apology you stopped waiting for, an invitation you thought would never arrive. The gate of restoration is open. Walk through. The third gate that opened in the vision is the gate of authority. This gate controls influence, leadership, and spiritual power. For a long time, this gate appeared closed in your life. You sensed the call to lead, yet the platform never seemed to appear. You carried vision and ideas that could impact others, but the position required to release them was missing. You were capable, yet not recognized. Prepared, yet not released. Qualified, yet not authorized. It often felt as if you were standing behind the scenes when you knew deep within that you were meant to stand at the front. There was a reason this gate remained closed for so long. The enemy understood the kind of leader you would become if you ever gained access to authority. He knew you were not someone who would misuse influence or abuse power. He knew you would use authority to help people rise, to heal broken places, and to bring freedom where others had been trapped. Because of that, he tried to keep you outside this gate. Leaders overlooked you. Gatekeepers doubted you. Situations were created that questioned your credibility and made others hesitate to trust your voice. Opportunities appeared for others while you remained waiting. But tonight that season is shifting. In the vision I watched as the angel assigned to this gate stepped forward with the golden key. The moment the key turned, the ancient lock released. The chains dropped all. And the gate slowly began to open. Then I heard the declaration spoken over your life. They have been faithful in hidden places. Now I am bringing them into visibility. They have proven themselves in the background. Now I am promoting them to the forefront. Small acts of faithfulness are now being recognized. Doors of influence are beginning to open. A position, platform, or opportunity may soon appear that grants you authority you did not have before. Someone will recognize the value of what you carry. A leader may invite you into a space where your voice is finally heard. The gate of authority is open. Walk through. The fourth gate that opened in the vision is the gate of wellness. This gate governs physical health, mental stability, and emotional healing. For a long time, this gate appeared sealed in your life. You may have battled sickness that refused to fully leave, pain that lingered longer than it should have, or emotional wounds that never seemed to completely heal. You searched for solutions. You tried different treatments, therapies, and prayers. Some progress came in certain areas, yet complete wellness always seemed just beyond reach, like it existed on the other side of a door that would not open. There was a reason the enemy fought so hard to keep this gate closed. He understood that a healthy body, a clear mind, and healed emotions would make you extremely difficult to stop. When strength returns to a person who carries purpose, their momentum becomes powerful. So he attempted to weaken you. Affliction was sent to drain your energy. Anxiety tried to overwhelm your thoughts. Old wounds attempted to keep your heart stuck in pain. You were able to function, but not fully flourish. You survived, but thriving still felt distant. But tonight, something is changing. In the vision, I saw the angel assigned to this gate step forward and insert the golden key into the lock. The seal broke. The heavy chains fell away. Slowly the gate began to move, and then it opened wide. And the declaration spoken over your life was unmistakable. The sickness must leave, the pain must release its grip, the torment must end, the wounds must heal. A level of wellness is being released that goes beyond what medicine alone can produce. Restoration is touching areas of your body, your mind, and your emotions. In the coming days, you may begin to notice improvement in an area where you once struggled. Symptoms may decrease, strength may return. Peace may replace the stress that once filled your thoughts. The gate of wellness is open. Walk through. The fifth gate that opened in the vision is the gate of vision. This gate governs clarity, direction, and divine understanding. For a long time, this gate seemed closed in your life, and because of that, many of your decisions felt surrounded by uncertainty. You often wondered which path you should follow, which opportunity you should accept, and which door you should walk through. You prayed for guidance. You asked for answers. Yet many times it felt like heaven was quiet and the direction you needed remained hidden. Living without clear vision creates a kind of fog. You move forward, but you are never completely sure you are moving the right way. And the enemy used that fog against you. He understood that if you ever gained clear vision, you would become extremely effective. If you knew exactly what step to take, you would move with confidence. If the path became obvious, hesitation would disappear. So confusion was introduced. Too many options appeared at the same time, making decisions difficult. Doubt whispered into your mind, causing you to question every choice. Uncertainty surrounded important moments, making it feel safer to stay still instead of moving forward. Boo! Tonight the gate of vision is opening. In the vision I watched the angel approach this gate with the golden key. When the key turned, the ancient lock released immediately. The heavy barrier that once blocked the entrance began to move. Then the declaration was spoken over your future. The fog is lifting. The path is clearing. Direction is being revealed. You will begin to recognize the next step you should take. What once felt confusing will start to make sense. Decisions that once felt impossible will become obvious. Very soon, clarity will arrive concerning something you have wrestled with for months, maybe even years. A direction will become visible. A plan will form in your mind. Confidence will replace hesitation. The gate of vision is open. Walk through. The sixth gate that opened in the vision is the gate of favor. This gate governs preferential treatment, supernatural advantage, and divine endorsement. When this gate is closed, everything requires greater effort. You work harder but receive smaller results. You prepare more than others, yet opportunities seem to pass you by. You may have watched people move ahead with less effort while you struggled with more resistance. Doors seem to open easily for others, yet when you approached the same doors, they closed without explanation. That was not simply bad luck. The enemy worked intentionally to keep this gate sealed, because favor changes everything. Favor can open doors that ability alone cannot unlock. Favor can place someone in rooms where they were never expected to be. Favor causes decision makers to remember your name when others are forgotten. So the enemy tried to keep you outside this gate. He caused people to overlook you when opportunities appeared. He allowed invitations to pass you by. He created reasons for others to doubt you at the exact moments when doors were opening. Bhaktan. Right, the gate of favor is opening. In the vision I watched the angel assigned to this gate lift the golden key and place it into the ancient lock. The key turned, the seal broke, and the gate slowly began to move until it stood fully open. Then the declaration was spoken over your life. Favor is being released. People will remember you when opportunities appear. Decision makers will choose you when positions become available. Doors will open that you did not even apply for. Soon you may notice unusual opportunities appearing in places where you were not expecting them. Someone may recommend you when you did not promote yourself. A door may open that should have remained closed according to normal circumstances. The gate of favor is open. Walk through. The seventh and final gate that opened in the vision is the gate of legacy. This gate governs lasting impact, generational blessing, and eternal significance. For a long time, this gate felt locked, and because of it, you may have wondered if your life truly mattered. You questioned whether your efforts would leave a mark, whether your influence would continue beyond your lifetime. You feared that when you were gone, nothing lasting would remain. The enemy wanted you to focus on survival instead of significance, on urgent tasks instead of important ones. He convinced you that your life was ordinary and that your efforts could never produce extraordinary outcomes. He tried to keep you busy with what seemed necessary, while what mattered remained out of reach. But tonight, the gate of legacy is opening. In the vision, I watched the final angel approach this last gate. With the golden key in hand, the angel turned it in the lock. The seal broke. The chains fell away. The gate began to move and then swung wide open, and the declaration was spoken: your life will matter. Your influence will continue long after you are gone. What you build now will bless people you may never meet. What you start today will impact generations to come. Psalm 112:2 is activating over your lineage. Their children will be mighty in the land. The generation of the upright will be blessed. Proverbs 13:22 is also activating. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. What you begin now will leave an impact far beyond your immediate reach. All 7 gates are open. Divine provision, restoration, authority, wellness, vision, favor, and legacy. Access has been granted. Entry is available. What was locked is now open. What was denied is now accessible. Walk through each gate with confidence, knowing that heaven has authorized your access. Stand firm in faith, ignore doubt, and declare out loud: Father God, I receive the opening of all 7 gates over my life. I am walking through divine provision, restoration, authority, wellness, vision, favor, and legacy. I will no longer stand outside looking in. I enter now, and my season of entry has begun. Thank you for granting what I could not open myself. The gates are open, and I walk through in Jesus' name. Amen.